analyzing raw data in order to make conclusions and to make decisions. Do you like data? You have an interest in what is this data saying? You're organized and you like putting things together, organizing things. So because there's a data explosion, what has happened over the years is that we are, as a society, storing and more data because we have the capacity to store more data. And so there's a whole heap of data and we can learn from that data. And for businesses, it can serve, data is now an asset that can serve to help them to give them a competitive advantage. So data analytics is really about exploring data. What does the data say? You can't lie with the data. So even with COVID, when COVID came out, when COVID started, one of the things for me was, what is this data saying? What is data saying? Okay, and I would go and look to see, okay, what they say about this vaccine. And so even with all the rumors and things that was going on, what I would do was to just dig and find the data. And a lot of the things that are out there, you really have to look at the data behind it because people will skew the data. So they will tell you one thing, they're saying one thing. So there were some reports, for example, that came out of England where they were saying the report said one thing, but when the person reported on it, the way they reported was not in keeping with what the report was saying. So it's really important for you to understand data and understand and get to the nitty-gritty of what the data is saying. Yeah. So this degree is really to produce graduates who can respond to this data explosion. And data analytics involves inspecting the data, cleaning it, transforming it, data modeling. Really, the objective is to find out what is this data saying? How can this data help my organization? What can I learn from this data? How can this data support my decision making? So there are 4 types of data analytics. Descriptive data analytics, which tells you what's happening in your business. There's diagnostic data analytics, which tells you why it's happening. There's predictive data analytics, which tells you what is likely to happen. And there's prescriptive data analytics, which tells you what do you need to do? What should this company do? There's a heavy emphasis, some emphasis on what we call data visualization. And because we're in a society now where visuals, people can understand visuals better. So, you're doing a report, you're not going to put a lot of text and you use the visuals. So the data visualization goes hand in hand with our data analytics. There's also statistical modeling. So you have to understand your statistics. And we're not really, everybody does statistics at CSEC, right? So you're using that knowledge of statistics to help you with your modeling and with your descriptive analytics and statistics, because you're going to use those in your reports. If we look at the data analytics process, it really starts with identifying the problem. What's the problem that the business has? What is it that the business wants to investigate? What is the advantage that the business has? What is the opportunity that is there? And then what data is going to help me to solve this problem? What data is going to help us, this company, to take advantage of this opportunity? So you have to identify the data sources, select the data, clean that data. So you take out what's not necessary, those things that are not necessary. Sometimes you have to do some, depending on what the data is, you have to clean it up to narrow it down to what will help you to seize the opportunity or to get the information that you want from the data. You have to transform that data, and that transformation involves doing your modeling or whatever format you need to put the data in. And then you have to analyze the data. And so you build those models around the data. And there are a lot of tools that we use to help us with this data analysis. Having analyzed the data now, we can interpret it. What is it saying? What does it mean for the company? What does this mean? How can we use this? How is it going to give us a competitive advantage? So, okay, so in the future, this is our expectation. So therefore, we need to sell more of this product. We need to, go in this direction and so on. So that interpretation is coming out from having analyzed the data. So it's really interesting. I'm just amazed at how fired up I am about data. And the key thing about selecting your specialization is really identifying what interests you, what gives you a buzz, what sparks your interest. I know people like to say, oh, this is better than this, and this specialization better than this. And so, no, there is room for every single one of us. And as far as I'm concerned, really, you can make money wherever you go as long as you do a good job. So people say, oh, no, man, do this. No. And I don't want to call any names. No, do this. It's really, if you are good at what you do, you're going to make the money, right? So there's space and room for all of us. So right now, there's a shortage of data analysts and data scientists, and there's a shortage in general for computing persons. So wherever we are, we can flourish as long as we do our job well. I think that is the key, right? So some technical skills needed for data analytics. We use a lot of packages and statistical methods, Power BI for visualization, data warehousing, database design, data visualization, reporting. We have to do our reports, knowledge of Hadoop and MapReduce, data analysis, and data mining. Those are some of the technical skills that we have to develop. And then there's a business side. And I want to just stop a little bit to talk about this. One of the things that we have to be able to do as computing persons is that we have to be able to listen to our clients and our customers. And we have to be able to communicate. When a customer comes with a problem, it's important that we understand that problem. So sometimes we come up with solutions that are the right solution for the wrong problem. And when I'm doing software engineering, I always say this to students. When I'm doing software implementation, I always say, you have a whole heap of solutions out there that are for the wrong problem. You know why that happens? Because people don't listen and understand the problem. You see, if you have a good understanding of the problem, your solution will be better able to suit and solve the problem because you have a good understanding, and therefore what you're proposing, that it will solve the problem. So it's important for us to listen to our customers, listen to our clients. When you go to an organization, you really have to learn, what is this business about? What exactly they're doing? And I tell students, when I started, I never knew anything about insurance. But in my first job, we were building an insurance system, and I learned so much about insurance. I'd never before even knew anything about insurance. So wherever we go, in whatever business setting, we have to learn that business inside out. And that's important for every single one of us. Learn the business. And so that is a skill, the willingness to learn. So on top of all of this, the field that we're in is a learning field. We never stop learning. But so if you like learning and really want to know things and you want to grow, if you stop learning in our field, you start stagnating because our field is always progressing. So these business skills are also important. Being able to effectively communicate, being creative, knowledge of the industry, I just spoke about that, and being a problem solver. So with the right approach, business intelligence, data analytics can be a leading source of competitive advantage for organizations. Organizations have an opportunity to use enterprise analytics to drive digital transformation and redefine their customers' experience. So that is our first, and it is not any order, it's just that I like data analytics first, so I put it before. So that is one of our 2 specialization in the computer information systems program. And then the second one is technology entrepreneurship. What is this about? So this is really a merger of innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology. Innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology, bringing all of these together. Small businesses form a major part of economies right across the world. Small businesses drive economies, right? And one of the things about UTech is we encourage every student does an entrepreneurship skill module. We encourage students to start their own business. So this is what this specialization is about. Starting a technology business, running a technology business. And so, I think I skipped one of my slides. There are 2 types of technology entrepreneurships. And sorry, there are 2 types of technology entrepreneurs. Those who can come up with new ideas and new technologies and bring them to market. And the second type are those who will see an idea and a technology and can bring it as an innovation within the organization. So they can use it in new ways and different ways to give the organization an advantage. So there are 2 types of technology entrepreneurs, and that should have been in this slide. I left it out. So that's what we're looking at. Persons who can start their own technology business and are willing to do what it takes to harness their product and service and to take them out into the market, or persons who within an organization can drive innovation by using technology. So how do you select a major in the CIS program? First of all, you have to complete at least 34 credits. There's no selection, so there's no button that you press. All you have to do is basically follow the corresponding module selection guide, right? And these module selection guides are at the UTech website. So let's just take a minute. I don't know if I'm going on too long. So when we look at for this program, there is the major in data analytics, the major in technology entrepreneurship, but you can also do a major in data analytics and a minor in technology entrepreneurship. And you can also do a major in technology entrepreneurship and a minor in data analytics. So there are 4 options for this degree, and the module selection guides are at the UTech website. All you do is look at what you are interested in and make sure you do the modules on that corresponding module selection guide. It's as easy as ABC. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that, right? So if you have any questions, you can always type them in the chat as well. We can start answering them. And your program admin, Ms. Twyla Allen, you can send her an email, or you can send me an email if there are any questions. So thank you all for listening and for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Namara. Our next presenter is Mr. Scale. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephen Scale. I'm the current program director for the ICT, Information and Communication Technology. We manage two of the specializations in the computing and information technology degree area. One specialization, which Mr. David Wright would have presented on earlier at the start, and I will be completing this by presenting on the information systems specialization within the information technology degree. So this is how the presentation will flow. We'll look at a few technology trends for 2022. Then we will examine some job opportunities available within the information system space. We'll look at the information system specialization objectives. We'll have a brief overview of the specialization itself, what modules are involved, and then we will answer the question, who should really choose information system specialization? So according to Gartner, which is a top research, technology research entity, some of the top strategic technology trends for 2022 includes, really surrounds data, automation, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence, and of course, cloud. The technology practitioner that is going to be successful will have to be someone who has the ability to enable organizations to capitalize and to benefit from the technology. Because if you think about it, technology is really available for all organizations as long as they have the capital to invest in it. So it has really, in some sense, leveled the playing field where competition is concerned. So the organizations, the businesses that are going to thrive, apart from the ones that have innate advantages such as their size and scale and so forth, are going to be the ones that can maximize their use of technology in the most strategic manner. One of the buzz terms that have been going around in recent years is about digital. Everybody wants digital transformation. Companies are going digital. Digital is all about creating brand new business models by placing the customer at the center of attention, creating processes that offer incredible customer experiences enabled by technology. So really and truly, technology is, while very important, very pervasive, it's just a means to an end. At the end of the day, it's about those who can maximize the returns, which is where the business models come in. You can gain the most in terms of revenue, the most in terms of profits, the most efficiencies, reducing costs, and creating effective business models or brand new business models, of course, by placing the customer at the center of attention. Now, one of the companies that I admire is Amazon. Their vision is simply making life exceptionally great for the customer. Right? So Amazon may be seen as a technology company, or as an e-commerce company, as a bookstore. People see them from various perspectives. But really and truly, Amazon is all about just being the most customer-friendly company in the world. That is their vision. So it's about putting the customer at the center and doing it in a profitable way by being very efficient and surprising your customers, right? Wowing your customers. And of course, technology is just a tool that is used to do that. So what does this have to do with information systems? So information systems is really the combination of technology, people, processes, in order to add value to businesses or organizations. And the ideal graduate, after you leave university to practice within the information system space, these are some of the skills that you will need to develop. One, you have to have a very keen understanding of strategic imperatives. In other words, you have to see things from the business perspective. It's one thing to understand the technology, and it's very important. I know we're all in information systems, IT degree, computing, computer science, data analytics, technology entrepreneurship, and all of that. But at the end of the day, technology is a servant. It serves the organization, it serves the customers. And the organization, believe it or not, they're the ones who hold the budget. If you're going to get the money to spend on the technology, you're going to have to be able to align that technology with the strategy of the organization. So that's one. Two, empathize with real customer. Mrs. McNamara spoke to it earlier. You have to understand the needs of the customer. Right? You have to be able to put yourself in the customer's shoes, to have that conversation and create customer-centric solutions that make life easier, make things cheaper, and make things faster for the customers. There are three things that customers will always want. They want things cheaper, they want things simpler, and they want things cheaper, faster, and better, greater quality. Third is to reimagine business processes. Technology has done a lot to improve business processes to make them more efficient. So you have to be able to think outside the box, look at what needs to get done, and imagine innovative ways of getting it done, right? And technology is just a tool to do so. You have to be able to embrace agility. Right? Long gone are the days when businesses will sit around waiting for 1 year to bring about upgrades or bring in new technology. Right? The way that technology is now disseminated, right? It's all via the cloud, it's all via web services, it's all via APIs. So you can overnight integrate technology into the organization. And in order to do that, you have to embrace that speed. You have to embrace that nimbleness that is required to change your mindset quickly and in order to adapt technology quickly and integrate it into your organization. So you have to be able to embrace agility. Continuous stakeholder collaboration and be able to interact with the customers, interact with the different stakeholders as you go throughout project implementation. As things go into production, things go live, you have to be able to embrace that interaction with customers all the way so that you can improve things, you can know when there are problems and be able to analyze and solve those problems. Number 6, drive evidence-based decisions. This is where data analytics come in. So you need to be able to support the decisions that you're making. The whole purpose of data analytics is to make better decisions, both from a customer perspective and from a business perspective. Right? So you have to be able to understand data, to be able to use data to support the decisions that you're going to make and reduce the level of uncertainty and risk. And finally, you have to be able to understand technology. Right? So it's not even so much about creating the technology. As I said, technology exists. Technology is almost, I want to call it a dime a dozen, because it has really long gone the days when you had to have millions of dollars to invest in technology. Right now, via services like AWS from Amazon, via Microsoft Azure, via Google Cloud Platform, the smallest of organizations can get access to world-class technology. So it's not so much about being able to create the technology. The technology exists. It's about being able to understand it and how it can add value to the organization and add value to the customers and how to understand and piece it together in order to satisfy the needs or solve problems. So these are some of the ideal skills that the graduates in information system will need to embrace. And this is just some of the areas, the career opportunities that are available within the information system space. If you notice on the left side, we have technology focused areas and professions. And then we have on the right side, business focused, right? So the information systems practitioner can actually go across a wide spectrum of careers, right? So on the right, you have areas such as being a business analyst. In the middle, really not really on the right, a business analyst. You could go into business process management, being an architect or analyst of business processes. You have product management, portfolio manager, digital business analyst, product manager, project manager. You have agile, which is a very topical career space. You can be a product owner, Scrum Master, business technologist, a release trained engineer. On the customer experience side, can be a relationship manager, quality assurance, CRM business analyst. It can be a business architect or a strategist, and the list goes on. Understanding and embarking on information system specialization as well can help you on the technology side, right? Because you're an analyst, you're learning to solve problems, you're understanding technology and how to apply them. You can be an analyst and you can be adaptable and infuse yourself within the technology side of the business as well in order to add value to the organization to which you are affiliated. Now, just a quick overview of the specialization. The modules are to the right: IT project management, which I've aligned into the skills that you need to gain as an information system graduate, which helps you to embrace agility. Of course, being able to practice agile project management, and it requires you to continuously engage or collaborate with stakeholders. Foundation of information systems, which involves reimagining business processes and understanding technology, using technology to make things better for the organization, for the customer. Enterprise architecture and infrastructure, which allows you to align technology with business strategy, allows you to reimagine business processes and to understand technology. Information system auditing, using evidence to drive decisions, continuously engaging with stakeholders. Information system innovation and emerging technologies, one of my favorite courses because it's all about innovation. Helps you to empathize with real customers. So in this course, you actually build businesses. It's involved, the entire curriculum is all about innovating. Every class that you come in every week, it's all about innovating and coming up with ideas and building them out. Not really creating the technology, but really developing on the ideas and really just using our imagination to change business processes, to change the way that things are done, which of course requires us to understand technology. E-business strategy and e-commerce, really taking how can we develop business models that will work on the internet via e-commerce, right? This module teaches you the ins and outs of developing business models and utilizing the technology, the web technology, in order to create businesses. Organization and management, more on the business side, help you to understand strategy and to engage with stakeholders. And information system strategy planning and management, how can you manage the technology? And in order to do that, this is really a strategic course that prepares you for some of the higher level roles within information technology and information systems, like being a CIO, being able to communicate with the executive, being able to communicate with the board and the senior management team, understanding strategic imperatives, and being able to dissect that and break that down so that your technology team can add value to the organization. And finally, who should choose information systems? If you love technology and the use of it, but you're not necessarily into programming and actually creating the technology, then information systems specialization is for you. If you're innovative and love coming up with ideas, especially around the use of technology, then information systems specialization is for you. If you love to interact with people, with customers, with employees, just love people and love technology, information specialization, information system specialization is for you. If you want flexibility in your career, if you want to be able to act on the technology side, or you want to be able to transition to the business side of things, then information system specialization is for you. If you have an interest in business and technology, then information system specialization is the way to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Scale. All right,
sorry,
and our next.
Sorry, can I interrupt first? I just want to add something. Just to say that, remember that the information system specialization is in the BSc computing. So the BSc computing has an information system specialization, but there's also an information systems degree, which is the CIS. So that has to be clear. All right.
All right, thank you very much for that clarification, Mrs. McNamara. All right, thanks again, Mr. Stephen Scale. All right, so our next presenter is Mr. David White. Sir, are you ready?
Yes.
And guys, you can ask your questions in the chat, okay? All right, you can go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Is Miss Lynch and Mr. Scarlett here? I was looking for them in the chat. I had apologies for them. Miss Lynch, Mr. Scarlett? All right, not seeing them in the chat, so I'll just go straight ahead. All right, I want to welcome all the students, especially all the students in all the degree programs, but especially those in the BSc computing program from Knox Community College. I see them in here. I also see students from Moneague, and I want to also especially welcome those who are from the Montego Bay campus. So thanks for coming, everyone. All right, my name is David White. I'm the program director for the Bachelor of Science in Computing program. And some of the persons who presented earlier, right, my colleagues, they're also, their specializations also fall in this program. And I will tell you when we go along. I had an apology from Dr. Arnett Campbell, who is part of Mr. Scales' team. He's not feeling so well. And I want to apologize for my two subject leaders, Mr. Horace Scarlett, who is acting for computer science. Person in charge is Ms. Kalila Burrell, who is on leave, and Ms. Janice Lynch, who is the subject leader for enterprise systems. So, second year specialization. I was trying to answer some of the questions in the chat. Our program, all our degree programs are designed so that the first 2 years is the same, more or less, for the students in that particular degree. So in the BSc Computing degree program, and that's the name of the program, it's the BSc Computing, all right, program. The first and second year is the same for everybody doing this degree, right? All the modules, the programming one, the math, college math 1B, the academic writing one, and so on, right? At the end of second year, you now choose a specialization, and that now will dictate what you do for the remaining 2 years. So it's a 4-year degree program, and I will talk about it a little later. Let's go right in. I thought they were going to give me 3 hours. Those of you who know me, possibly 4, but seeing the time is limited, I'm going to just skip right to the chase. So I'm not going to tell you some of the accolades we have, like the fact that we are more than 10 years in existence, and it's tried, tested, proven. That has been our slogan. It's accredited. It's known worldwide. We are the best. We are the largest entity that graduates computer science students in the English-speaking Caribbean. But, you know, time is limited, so I will skip over all of this and just go directly to what are some of the learning outcomes. If you choose to do a degree in this program, then when we are finished with you, right, you should be able to analyze a complex computing program and apply the principles of computing and other relevant disciplines so that you can identify the solutions. And I believe we have been doing a good job over the last decade or so. And our students, our graduates from the program are testimonials to that fact. So you should be able to balance, you know, here at UTech, and in particular, our degree program is about balance. So yes, we teach you the programming, and of course you have to have the math and the English background, but we also balance it with things like your professional responsibility, professional ethics. And of course you learn, we have a professional development seminar. So you learn how to interact with others. You work as part of a team. You know, you learn to function effectively as a member of a team or a leader of a team in an organization. And of course, you learn to be disciplined. And I'm going to scroll over this. I'm not going to tell you about Raven, who won the Prime Minister's National Youth Award. I'm not even going to tell you how we won first, second, and third prize in the Sagicor. Those students in the picture got $500,000, number one in programming. I'm not even going to tell you about our students over the years who have gotten the Huawei scholarships, phones and tablets and cash prizes all the way on the other side of the world. I'm not going to tell you about these students in the picture here who came third in the IBM International Developer Call for Code Challenge. I'm not even going to tell you about Carla and her team who appeared on TVJ for the temperature sensor project in COVID. Because of time, I'm not even going to tell you about young Romari and his team who developed the pothole detector, which was featured all over Jamaica. I'm not even going to tell you about this team who is now doing a robotics program. They're in final year, I think, and there's a robot in the background, and they're in my office working on their robotics major project. And there are scores of other students who are programming Raspberry Pis and Arduinos and all the latest technology. I'm not going to tell you about that because my time is limited. Instead, I'm not even going to tell you either about all our students who have won the NCB pitch and the Sagicor pitch, and we won the business model competition, and we're also placed, we got invited to the Grace Upper conference, and we met First Lady Hillary Clinton because of the excellent students that we were producing and so on, and the Charles Babbage Award. Not going to tell you also, right, how many of our students who, persons want to know, when you do a degree, are you going to sit around for 7-8 months before you can get a job? Or are you going to have to take a job that you're overqualified for because you can't find anybody to employ you? But when you're in computing, because right now, in fact, if you look at the reports coming out of the West, even the first world countries in the West, like certainly the USA and Canada and a lot of the EU countries and England, you notice that they are emphasizing on STEM. And a lot of the companies that have to be going on the other side of the world. In fact, India, right, is a large supplier of computer science students because a lot of the students in the first world countries are not taking up these degrees. Right? They're having a warm time. So we have been supplying persons for these programs, right? And locally, all the banks, right, have our graduates. In fact, not only are they just workers, but what I'm glad to say right now is that some of our students are now managers and supervisors at these institutions. Every one of the local big telecoms have our students there. In fact, some of the apps you are using on your phone right now were designed by our students. Even the police app, the Stay Alert app, was designed by our students. So all the major banks, all the major telecoms, the security forces, both the constabulary and the defense force, all the major insurance companies, all the health authorities, and government. In fact, government is the largest employer. And the persons who write their programs for the tax authorities and so on, our students. In fact, we can't produce students enough. Right? So, just yesterday, some students were asking me, begging me, please, if we can put out some more courses for even summer, because there's just such a big demand. So that's the thing with our degree. It's tried, it's tested, it's proven, and you can't lose if you really put out when you come to this degree. And I won't tell you also, I don't have time to tell you about our international prowess. Our students are all over the place creating waves, like at the Lawrence Livermore Supercomputer Laboratory, or Lutron Electronics, or even Facebook, some of those that you might recognize, like Microsoft, BMW, the self-driving component of the arm of BMW, Google, IBM, our students are right there. But let me get right to the chase. What we are here for today, the specializations. Why should you choose to specialize in the BSc computing after your 2 years? Well, we have two majors, computer science and information technology. For computer science, there are no minors. It's a straight program. So after the end of your 2 years, if you choose computer science, you're just going to do those core modules for the remaining 2 years, the computer science core modules. For information technology, there are three majors. There are actually four, but we're downplaying one because we have an animation degree, which you should hear about It's actually called Animation Production and Development. And of course, we work with our other colleague, PDs. You have heard about the other degree programs. So we do some electives from their programs as well. All right. So for the information technology major, you have a choice of doing networking, a networking minor. So if you really want to stick with the BSc in computing, but you really like what's happening over the networking side, then you can do a minor in networking, so you get the best of both worlds. There's also information systems, and both PD spoke about how, networking and information systems are key. And I agree with them totally in this world. But if you want to stay with us, right, in the BSc computing, then you can do a minor in either networking or a minor in information systems, right? So you get to do some of the modules, right, in that track. Then there also is a enterprise systems minor, which is heavily programming based. You learn how to work with a variety of cutting edge programming languages. You're building web systems, and you also are working with massive databases so that when you graduate, you can go into that sector and just be a part of a large development team. All right, if my colleagues are here, I would like the subject leaders, I'll just segue to them to present on their area. If they're not here as well, then I'll just proceed. All right, so I spoke about the goals. The goals of the Bachelor of Science in Computing are to produce, well, for the computer science major, it is designed to equip graduates with the skills to understand and implement computers in an efficient and computational processes. So computer science is about knowledge. When you're in the computer science track, you want to know, you want to understand. You don't just want to know that it works, you want to know why it works. So you have an analytical mind. And of course, it has a lot of math and programming in there. And then for the information technology major, it's designed to produce graduates who possess the right combination of theoretical and practical skills. And everybody knows that UTech is known for being hands-on. Every time I meet employers out there and I say, how are our graduates doing? How much of them you employ? You employ 10 of them, you employ 5 of them, you employ 17 of them. How are they doing? They say, oh my gosh, you know why we like to employ students from the Bachelor of Science in Computing? Because they can start work Monday morning. We don't have to retrain them. When you come from here, right, we give you the training we give you, you can matriculate right into the work environment, all right? Now, computer science, it is the study of theoretical foundations of, and I'm sorry that the flyer is a little blurry, right? I hope you can see it. It's the study of theoretical foundation of information and computation and of the practical techniques for their implementation and applications in computer systems. Computer science has many subfields. In fact, almost all the fields in computing can be, can really be subfields of computer science because science is to know. All right. So it has many subfields such as computer graphics, computational complexity theory, programming languages theory, human-computer interaction. Graduates within this field may obtain and pursue career paths in the following, but not limited to: system analysts, consultants, engineers, programmers, database analysts, artificial intelligence programmers or researchers, data miners, scientific applications programmers, user interface designer, embedded systems application programmer, computer scientists, researchers, bioinformatics specialists, technical support representative, and of course, for persons who want to go on to do a master's or a PhD, the computer science major is always a good plank to step on to pivot you, higher into like academia and so on and research. For the information technology, the networking minor, this area seeks to prepare graduates for the networking and telecommunication sectors by exposing them to concepts relating to the science of digital and data communications and those systems and the technologies involved. The potential career options for this field are as follows. But before I go any further, let me just say that the new CNS, which you heard about earlier, that is really an exciting degree. And if that is your love, I would recommend that you go to that degree. However, if you're in the Bachelor of Science in Computing, but you want to have a minor in networking, this is a place to be. So some of the potential careers are network and security officer or analyst. You can be a IP engineer. You know, TCP/IP is the protocol that runs the internet. You can be a radio frequency engineer. You can be a voice over IP. That's the new phones that use the internet instead of the traditional telephone wires. Voice over IP or VoIP engineer. You can be a LAN or WAN. That's local area network, wide area network engineer. You can be a network technician or consultant, and you can be a system specialist or engineer. For the information systems minor, the management and auditing of information systems is the principal focus of this field of study, which prepares our students for the following career paths, and we have been very successful at this. IT manager or IT project manager, business analyst, or information systems auditor, or an IT quality assurance consultant. And finally, for the enterprise systems minor, this area of concentration focuses on the technical and practical side of enterprise systems. It entails the building of databases and their supporting applications, including web systems, of course, which are optimal for communications. The career opportunities within this area are, but not limited to, programmer analyst, programmer, applications developer, database administrator, database developer, business analyst, data warehouse developer, IT quality assurance consultant, and software engineer. Earlier in my career, I was a software engineer. All right, so those are the minors. And as I said, you know, the graduates sell the program, right? All our programs, corporate Jamaica can't get enough of our students. Just last week, some of you are in the classes, you probably saw the ads in the student union. They specifically were asking for the graduates from this program, all right? So you are in the right place. As it says in the corner, the BSc computing degree is tested, it's tried, it's proven. Why should you select all right, so if you select the computer science major, here is the module selection guide. Let me just hasten to say that I'm recommending, both for this degree and for the other degree programs, it is imperative that you meet with your academic advisor. See it on the bottom right-hand side of the form, check with your academic advisor. And notice that repeat it on the bottom left-hand corner, check with your academic advisor. It's on the front and on the back of all the module selection guides. Check with your academic advisor, because sometimes you hear something from a colleague student, you know, and it's not really so. And you don't want to spend an extra year or doing a module that you shouldn't do and having all kind of problems. Check with your academic advisor, and he or she will be able to answer your questions and help you to map out your career path, because we want you to finish within the 4-year time period and to go out there. A lot of jobs are out there waiting for you, right? We can't produce enough students based on the market size out there. So we want you to be able to complete your degree without any issues or hiccups, all right? So if you do computer science, then as I mentioned before, the first 2 years, that's semester 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? Everybody would do the same. However, in semester 5 is where the computer science modules start. So you notice OS and IT, project management, core courses like analysis of algorithms, advanced programming. You also have a choice of doing computer forensics or bioinformatics, right? So ensure that the module selection guide you are looking at is the current one. They're all on the website, on the UTech website, and you can always get it from the office as well. All right, computer forensics, you know, when you watch NCIS or CSI or Law and Order, and you see the software that the police are using, this module is taught by international police personnel, and they are using the software that you see on TV, right? With the fingerprinting and the digital forensics and so on. It's really awesome. In fact, some of our graduates are now working with law enforcement, not just in Jamaica, but in the wider Caribbean. I know we have some students in Bahamas, and there are some of our students in like LAPD and New York, NYPD, all right? Bioinformatics, goes into the core, you know, the DNA and so on. And it's a very, very, very awesome course if you want to get into like food production and so on. All right. Then all students have to do CRM, which is computing research methods, and that segues into you doing a final year capstone project called major project. There are other modules you do like design of experiments, and of course you have to do some maths and so on. So you do calculus 1, you do computer security, and you know, you do linear algebra, computer organization and architecture. Do you see where the knowledge is coming? I said earlier that science, computer science, has to do with the knowledge. When you do a computer science degree, right, you know about stuff and you understand stuff. So, you know, artificial intelligence, and of course, analysis of programming languages. And we will not allow you to graduate unless you take professional development seminar, which prepares you to work. After you have mastered everything else and you do professional development seminar, it shows you how to dress, how to talk in the office, how to work as part of a team, how to write your resume, right? So we are preparing you that when you go out there, right, you can get all the top jobs. So that is the computer science major. Now, if you decide to do the information technology major, then enterprise systems is one of the choices. You can do a minor. And Kishana, Miss Roberts, if Miss Lynch is here, I will turn over to Miss Lynch to present. If not, then I'll just continue. All right.
Excuse me, sir, you can ask her if she's here for her to just speak so that the host can give her a co-host, please.
Okay, Miss Lynch, Janice Lynch, if you are here, and Oret Scarlett, if you are here, please just raise your hand so that the host can give you the privileges, and I can turn over to you. All right, they had sent apologies earlier, but I know they wanted to be here. All right, both Dr. Campbell, Arnett Campbell, Janice Lynch, and Oret Scarlett. All right, for enterprise systems, again, the first 2 years are the same, but in semester 5, all right, sorry, let me just share that again. Okay. All right, so we're at enterprise systems. So in semester 5 is where you would choose the end of year 2, going over into year 3 is where you'd go on your portal, and there's a drop down there that allows you to choose the elective, right? So you're in the BSc in computing, you log onto your portal, and where you see it says specialization, that's where you go and select the elective. So the specialization. So if you choose information systems major and enterprise systems minor, then the core courses that you do are operating systems, IT project management, and foundation of information systems. But you also do now advanced databases, and enterprise computing 1 and 2 allow you, they take you to the core programming for an organization. So you learn about web systems, you learn about the .NET architecture, you're learning about Linux, right, from OS. So, you know, you're learning what the cutting edge technologies are so that you can work in any programming environment. Of course, like the other specializations, you do computer research methods, which leads up into major project. You also do software implementation, database administration, and you do organization and management, you know, you remember I spoke about balance, and of course you do network management and security, and computer security, professional development seminar. I want to mention the information systems track. Oh, sorry, before information systems, the networking track. So again, you specialize in, at the end of second year, going into third year, that's semester 5 on the chart. And for the networking track, you do operating systems and IT project management like your colleagues, also foundations of information system, but you do courses now, core courses like digital communications and telecommunications. You do distributed systems. You do advanced computer networks. network administration and technical support, network management and security, all right? And of course, computer security. And you also do other modules like computer research methods, which leads up into, major project and so on, all right? Internship is optional for all students doing the BSc in computing, all right? It's a 3-credit module, but it's optional. All right, finally, information systems, like all the other specializations, you specialize at the end of second year if you want to do IS. So going into semester 5, you do operating systems and IT project management and foundations of information system. You notice the balance? But your core modules now would include IS auditing, enterprise architecture and infrastructure, software implementation, IS innovation. You notice the IS-based courses, e-business strategy and e-commerce, IS strategy, planning and management, all right? And of course, you have to finish up with major project and professional development seminar. Please note to see, if I go back a little before I wrap up, that if you are in the computer science track, then after, in your 3rd and 4th year, right, final year, you do all your core modules, your upper modules, but you must do what we call SCIT upper level electives. Do you see it right here on the screen? It says SCIT upper level elective, right? And it must be a 3 or 4 credit module. Now, what do we mean by upper level elective? I'm going to list them in a second, but an upper level elective, you see, in SCIT, start with either CIT or CMP 4-hour program. For the BSc in computing, the code for your module will be CMP or CIT. And then for it to be considered an upper level elective, it must start with 3 or 4. Follow? So you couldn't take programming 1 as an upper level elective. So, and it has to be a module that's not part of your core. All right? Now, if you're in computer science, you must do 2, 3, or 4 credit modules. All right. Then the university elective now is done outside the school. So you might want to take like French or badminton or chess or so on. And you'll see that in the university elective collection when you go to choose your modules. All right. So that's for computer science. For the IT major, all the minors in IT, you get now to choose 3 upper level electives, right? One must be a 4 credit module and the other 2 or 3 or 4. So please note that. And then like the others, you do a university elective. All right, very important. And you can't do, an elective can't be a module that's required for you to do. So let me just tell you, this is what, information systems. Let's say you are in information systems. IS strategy, planning and management, you're required to do that. See it here, right? So you could not take CIT 4032 as an elective because you are already required to do it. But you can look over in computer science now and say, I really am in IS, that's what I love, but I want to do 1 or 2 modules out of computer science, or I want to do 1 or 2 or 3 modules out of networking, or I want to do 1 or 2 or 3 modules out of one of the other areas. Right? If you're in IS and vice versa. All right, what are the electives? If you're in computer science, here's the list of electives. My time is almost up, so I'll just skip through them, but you can always get them from your academic advisor and you'll see them in the electives collection. All right. And we always see, we're not stagnant. So though we have been here for more than a decade, we keep on coming up with new and exciting modules. For instance, just this semester, we start teaching applied software testing, and one organization has said already, any amount of graduates we can give, if we produce 10 or produce 15 people, right, who get the top marks, that CEO says she will employ them right away. She have a job for them because software testing is a big, big, big thing right now, right, with all these systems breaking down and being hacked and so on. So, right, we also are into game programming. You might know that we are coming out with 2 new degrees shortly, computer gaming and applied artificial intelligence. So we have some electives. All right, if you are in the IT major and enterprise systems minor, then these are the electives. And if you are in networking, that's IT major, but networking minor, then these are the electives. If you are in the IT major and information systems minor, these are the electives. All right, here are some contact information, especially for those who are not from the main campus, like students from Knox and Montego and Montego Bay. Here is the UTEX website. Here's a website and on the UTEX website, you'll find the link for the BSc in computing. And also there's the website for the module selection guide, right? But you don't have to memorize them, because once you go on the main UTEC website, you can navigate until you find them, all right? UTEC, the birthplace of greatness. Now, here are some key people you might want to contact. Christopher Panta is the program leader for third year and above, and I noticed he just joined the session. And I'll give you his contact information. Ian McGowan is the program leader for first and second year, and I'm not sure if he's in the session. And Scarlett and Janice Lynch, I mentioned earlier, Miss Lynch, Janice Lynch, is the subject leader for enterprise systems. She may have taught you, right, programming 2, right, our mobile development. Mr. Scarlett also may have taught you probably OOPR data structures, right? So Ms. Lynch is the subject leader for enterprise, and Mr. Scarlett is the subject leader for computer science, all right? And we borrow the subject leaders from the other areas like networking or security or IS or so on. Dwight Thomas is the franchise coordinator for our students who start the program out at the community colleges. And we have 2 ladies, Diane Ellis and Shade Yuan, who are the administrative support. Here's their contact information, and it's on the website, all right? So you always can reach somebody from the BSc in computing. Every student has been assigned an academic advisor, and if you don't see one on your portal, but you should, then you can just reach out to the office and we'll get you in touch. And we will walk you through, because we want you to graduate with flying colors from the BSc computing program. In fact, a lot of the first class honors for the entire university come from this program. A few years ago, the president's pin came from this program. All right, so this is the place you want to be. Here's the contact information for Mr. McGowan and Mr. Panta. Don't believe that telephone number is correct for Mr. McGowan though, but he has a WhatsApp number. If you're interested, you can reach out to us and we'll give you the WhatsApp number. Mr. Panta is here. He might give you additional contact information. All right. So Mr. McGowan, these are 2 key people, because all the students' concerns, you can funnel it through them. You talk to the first point of call is your academic advisor, and then if you're not getting through there, reach out to your program leader. So let me just repeat. Ian McGowan, this is for first and second year students. His email is ian.mcgowan, MCGOWAN, @utech.edu.jm. And Christopher Panta is Christopher, CHRISTOPHER, .Panther, as PANTHER, @utech.edu.jm. And we also have 2 wonderful people. Kishana Roberts is your skit rep, right? She's here, she's hosting this meeting right now, and really want to congratulate her on the advocacy and the way she has been representing all of you as students, all right? And Mr. Aaron Thomas is the skit rep down in the Western campus, all right? So thanks, Ms. Roberts and Mr. Thomas. And students, if you need to reach out to your rep, here are the contact details for them. All right, here again for our administrative support. So all the forms and so on, that you need to send in, grade forgiveness. That's a whole, I told you, I needed like 3 to 4 hours if I'm going to tell you the full thing about the program. But I'm signing off now. Here's the contact for our 2 wonderful administrative support, Diane Ellis and Shade Yuan. That's diane.ellis@utech.edu.jm and shade.yuan@utech.edu.jm. And there's a generic email, right? bsccomputingutech@gmail.com. You can always reach us at that, right? Just in case any other system goes down. BSC, then the word computing, so there are 2 C's, BSC, COMPUTING, UTECH @gmail.com. And more than one person, are attached to that email, so somebody will always answer you. And there are the telephone numbers. All right, I wish I had another 2 or 3 hours. I will tell you some more awesome things, but that is where all good things have to, come to an end. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat or ask them now, or reach out to us, right? And we'll be more than happy to walk you through. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, right? Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. White. All right. All right. Thanks to all of our program directors and presenters. It really means a lot for you to take the time out to do this for the second year population. Do we have any questions? I think we have like 10 minutes left. Is there anyone with any question that wasn't answered in the chat or didn't ask their question in the chat? You can just raise your hand. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so everybody good then. All right, thank you guys for being here. And if you need, all right, so the recording, we'll try to get the recording to you guys in the group by the end of the day today. Jordan, by the end of the day today. Thank you. All right. All right, I'm sorry. So I'll try to get the recordings to you guys. I'll try to get the recordings available to you guys by the end of the day today. So, right, so I guess if you need any additional assistance with anything, you have the program director's emails, you have everybody's supposed to have my number.
Sorry, Ms. Roberts?
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Roberts? All right, I just see 2 questions which were directed at me. One was, why are there no minors for computer science? Look, if the computer science students ever hear you, who's asking that? Janelle Daly? Because they're always saying, boy, it's pressure, right? It's pressure. But we would love to, but what happens is we want to keep the degree tight. It's already 125 degrees. So in the BSc computing program, all you have to do to be able to graduate is to do your core modules plus, right? Well, all the modules that are on your diet sheet, your module selection guide, once you complete 125 credits, right, then you're good to go. And the nice thing about it is that right now, the price, we have been holding the price a little for you. So if you notice, it's very competitive. And if we were to increase it by adding additional modules and so on, the workload might be too heavy for our computer science students. Remember, they're doing maths and programming, They're right? I was about to say they are the cream of the crop, but all of you are the cream of the crop. One PD said it earlier, right? No matter which degree you are in or with specialization, you're just all awesome people, right? But for the computer science people, they do a lot of maths and programming, so you don't want to make it more burdensome by adding a minor, all right? They're doing enough already, so that's why we didn't have a minor for them. All right, the other question was, are there any clubs and societies? Yes, we have quite a lot of clubs in SCIT and across the university. Across the university, you have like chess club and so on, religious clubs. And within SCIT, we have like SAPNA, where you learn to program, and all the students from all the degrees, from all the majors and minors can join that SAPNA. You get hands-on experience in programming. There's also the Intelligent Systems Lab, which meets on a Friday. And we look and research into smart systems and so on. There's also the IEEE, which is internationally renowned. It's affiliated with the Institute of Electronic and Electrical Engineers internationally. And that is still around. And Trishana, maybe you can tell when they meet. And of course, we have ACM.
Yes, sir. I believe all clubs meet Thursdays 3 to 5.
All clubs meet Thursdays 3 to 5. All right.
There's also the Google Developers Club.
Okay, Miss Mack is mentioning the Google Developers Student Club, and Mr. Scale just put it in the chat. And Susan,
and sir, we also have the Sagicor Innovation.
Sagicor Innovation.
You guys need to enter.
Yes, I sent you the flyer the other day.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Guys, buy me a Bridget something.
You understand? A Bridget Sandal, right? Of course, you know who won the last year, right? But we want more challenge. I'm encouraging everybody, right? It was real nice to stand up beside the students who won that 500,000, and they have raised the prize money this year, right? So I'm encouraging everybody from whatever degree you are in, because it's open to all, right? Please, all right? It's awesome, guys. How do you join the clubs? You can reach out to your student union and get the information, all right? Because of the time, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thanks to everyone once again. This was fun, and I hope you guys took note of it. If you're on campus, you can always stop by my office or go upstairs by Skate to collect a handbook. You guys need to know your handbook. And also you can go over by Student Affairs to get a print off of the module selection guide. And I believe it's also on the portal, right, Mr. White? Or on
yes, it is.
website.
Yes, it is. It's on the
exactly.
UTEC website.
You guys need to, because I have students messaging me saying, hey, they did modules they weren't supposed to be doing, and why? So it's really important that you guys follow the guide. And thank you guys for being here. The recording will be available shortly, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, and the website also has the student handbook. So you guys need to read the handbook.